This is her war story. The capture. She was 14.
One grabbed me by my legs, and one grabbed me by my arms, and they threw me into the back of the truck. I flew high and landed hard. There were about 5 women sitting there.
Then forced labor. Routine beatings. And when Yi Ok-sun later arrives at a so-called wartime comfort station, relentless rape.
They would use guns and swords to threaten us. They would shoot and they would cut. How is this a comfort station? It was an execution ground.
40 or 50 Japanese soldiers a day for some women, she says. They're girls, really. By the time this photo is taken of Yi at 21, she's been missing from her home in Korea for so long her own government has declared her dead. This wedding never happened. The graduation didn't either. They're just photos she took. They're symbols of what might have been. A life taken from one of the so-called comfort women, forced into sex slavery by the Japanese military during the Second World War. There are estimates there may have been as many as 200,000 of them. Today, there are about a dozen women who live here. This is an hour south of Seoul. It's a shelter that's intended to be really more of a sanctuary. It's one place where there's care around the clock for comfort women. Here, Yi is surrounded by some of the few surviving sisters who share her battle wounds. For a lot of these women, this is the place that really does feel like home. There are no families to take care of them, no families to one day mourn them. So some of them are cremated and even buried here in a spot where they can be remembered. 70 years after her ordeal, there's nothing Yi forgets.
The military police said they would need to cut off her foot so that she couldn't escape. They cut my foot.
A scar that an historic handshake won't heal. South Korea is agreeing to close the book on its women's darkest chapter, announcing an irreversible resolution to its long-standing conflict with Japan over the use of comfort women. They're accepting a final apology from the Japanese government and $8 million for a foundation that will help support the 46 living women. For Yi and others, the apology is too vague. They say it doesn't adequately document the history.
I want the Emperor of Japan to come to us and get down on his knees in front of us and then reflect on what they've done and explain what actually happened. They are waiting for us old grannies to die. I want to meet a good husband and live a happy life before dying.
Yi is almost 90 now. She keeps telling the war story because she knows it's more than her story. Alexandra Field, CNN, Gwangju.